What up, Cowboy Nation, and welcome to another rendition of Dallas Cowboys Game Time. My name is Fallout, joined for the very first time for his first esports broadcast debut. You know him, you love him, from the Dallas Cowboys. It's none other than Kyle Yeomans. My friend, welcome to esports. How you doing?
Man, couldn't be happier to be here. I mean, for the most part, to get to work with you, a legend in the esports broadcasting industry. I'm honored to be in your presence for the first part, but then also to get to watch some Madden NFL 24. I got a chance to play a little bit last night, even after the Monday Night Football win. Played a little this morning. I tried to freshen up on everything I could getting into this, but I'm ready to go. This should be fun.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's a pleasure to be casting alongside you. You called me a legend. You know a thing or two about football. It's awesome to be joined with you. Otherwise, I'd have no idea what I was doing. I played football growing up, but you know all things NFL, all things Madden. Speaking of which, for those that maybe don't know you at home, give us a quick introduction, man. You also host a podcast specific to Madden as well. Give us a quick little intro for your background.
Yeah, so I'm the TV host for the Dallas Cowboys, Kyle Yeomans. This is my fifth year with the team, started back in 2019. And I've always been a video game fan, by the way, just to throw it out there. I was always big NCAA football fan, also an EA Sports thing that's coming back very soon. We'll have to put together a tournament. I might play in that thing at some point along the line. But always loved Madden and loved games growing up. I was always on the sticks whenever I could. And so, yeah, whenever I got the chance to become the TV host, and I host a number of different shows, draft coverage, pre and post game shows, but we have a chance to put together a show called Hit Sticks every week. It's on Valley Sports Southwest. It's me, Barry Church, Isaiah Stanback, and we go through the preview of the matchup that's at hand for the Dallas Cowboys. And we have a little fun along the way as well, a little competition element there, but so much fun. And it just kind of combines the love of football with the love of video games and the love of esports at the same time. I don't think any of us are at the same level. Maybe Barry Church would argue, but I don't think any of us are at the level that these guys are that we're going to get to see today.
Yeah, that's awesome. And speaking of which, let's talk about the tournament, what's at hand today. For those that aren't aware, Dallas Cowboys host consistent esports events. This is Dallas Cowboys Game Time, the third event that has been run. We started with Fortnite and Rocket League. Now we're moving to something that's a little more familiar territory. It's Madden. Hundreds of players competed through qualifiers. There were 4 separate qualifiers for a chance to crown our finalists, our top 4 players that are going to be competing today. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rules so you can see exactly how the action is going to go down today. It'll be a best of 1 match. So obviously 2 semifinals. It's a single elimination bracket. So qualifier 3 will play qualifier 4. Qualifier 1 will play qualifier 2. We'll talk about who those players are in just a moment. They'll be playing on all Madden, quarter length of 5 minutes in a single elimination tournament. Winners will advance to the grand finals, which we'll be calling the action for today. And we're going to be doing it red zone style, right, Kyle? We'll be jumping into both semifinals matches.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see just how the strategy is played, because with the quarter length being just 5 minutes, you're playing, of course, the all Madden skill level. Things get really quick, and it happens very fast. Things are going to run downhill. It'll snowball if things don't go your way, and it'll certainly put you in an advantage to get off to a hot start. So I'm really excited to see each of these competitors and some of the advantage they try and take early.
Yeah, that's right. And let's see what's at stake here today. Let's take a look at our prizing for the competition. And I got to tell you, every single Cowboys experience and Game Time tournament seems to one up the other. This is pretty awesome. Grand prize, all expenses paid trip for 2 to a Dallas Cowboys game against the Giants. So interdivision rivalry there on November 12th, right before Thanksgiving. So you get a whole kind of VIP great experience. Plus you get a swag bag. The Dallas Cowboys are hooking it up with an all expenses paid trip to 2 for whichever winner will take home the prize here. And on that note, let's actually transition back to us on camera here and talk a little bit about our players. I want to give some love. I'll talk about qualifier 4 and 3. If you could talk about qualifier 1 and 2, Cal, that'd be great. But qualifier 4 is Antonio Rodriguez, 18 years old, coming from Centerville, Virginia. He goes by Corn 1085. We'll see what he can do on the football field. He'll be playing against TRMBJ from Atlanta, Georgia, 22 years old. Those are our 2 qualifiers in our first matchup. Kyle, break down the other 2 for me.
Yeah, that match 2 is going to be a barn burner, and it goes up against kind of like what you were just saying. It's the urban area versus the outside urban area. We've got the Pittsburgh native Rudy Faulkner leading the way, 22 years old. He goes by Rudy Faulkner 3. He's not hiding from anybody behind his username. He's out in front. He's ready to challenge anybody that comes at him, including Khalil Franklin, who's on the opposite side. The 20-year-old should have a fun one, or just turned 21, out of Morrow, Georgia. He goes by Slider K. So 2 really fun fun matchups. And like you said, it's Pittsburgh versus Georgia. Then you've got Atlanta versus Virginia. Lots of East Coast swag out there and guys that are going to try and get the job done today.
That's right. One thing I love, for those that watch MCS Man Championship Series or Competitive Madden, there's always this rivalry of the East Coasters, people like Problem and others going up against the West Coasters. It looks like we got all East Coast action. Everyone's coming from the East Coast this time around. So I'm excited for this upcoming matchup. Before we jump into gameplay, which we'll be getting started here in just a moment, I want to take a moment just to thank our sponsor in Lenovo. I rock a Lenovo headset when I game and when I play myself, any other, obviously Madden, but also Apex Legends and other titles. Big fan of Lenovo, who makes smarter technology for us all. Thanks so much to Lenovo for supporting this throughout its entirety. Speaking of sponsors, this is going to be a fun one, man. So you obviously come from traditional sports. I come from esports. We're going to get a little corny with it. We're going to talk about preparation with Ford's Keys to the Game, presented by the Ford Series, America's #1 selling truck brand for 46 years, by the way. So keys to the game. All right, wow. So let's get a little corny with it. In esports, people are like, all right, what do you just do? Like hand stretches, massages, warm-ups. It's not like that. I want to ask you, what do you do before a big football game, before a physical sport? What are some things you do to prepare for that matchup?
Well, I was always a really big music guy. I wanted to get the headphones on, the Lenovo headphones, let those things rocking, get your intense music rolling, kind of get the blood pumping a little bit while you're getting a sweat in early on. I don't know if you want to try and get a sweat in before getting on the Madden controller as opposed to maybe going out there and getting some stretches in. But you want to try and get the heart rate up. That's the #1 thing, because then the adrenaline's pumping. You can kind of attack things at a more even keel level whenever you already have that adrenaline rolling your direction. So music, heart rate, and of course that focus beforehand, or certain things that physically that you want to do going into a matchup. But I'm going to turn it on you. I want you to tell me, from an esports gaming standpoint, you might not want to sweat, but where are you kind of turning your attention?
Yes. I used to be a pro gamer, and believe it or not, people think we're crazy for saying this. It's actually not too different. Typically, before a big match day, before a big tournament day in esports, you want to get a workout in. Maybe not right before the match. You don't want to get your heart rate up that crazy. You want to stay calm and controlled. But you typically want to get exercise in the morning of. It opens up neural pathways and helps you get a little more focused. And then music as well. Same kind of story. You want to get pumped up, and you're not necessarily, people always think you're like doing hand massages or hand warm-ups or hand exercises. You get your thumbs loose. That's not necessarily the case. Obviously, you want to jump in the game, though, and you want to get warm in the game. If in a game of Madden, play some quick play some online play, and start running some routes, start running some plays to get warmed up. But that's typically what you'll see on the esports side of things.
See, what's your pregame meal, though? What are you spilling in the Ford F-150 on the way over to the esports arena? What are you trying to stuff your face with going into a matchup?
Believe it or not, keeping it fairly healthy. Yeah, contrary to belief, you're not necessarily getting all of the unhealthy snacks in, or chips or popcorn and anything like that. You're keeping it fairly healthy, keeping your mind light. I'm getting some veggies. I'm getting a nice egg omelet breakfast personally. So I'm a big believer in the same thing. How about you? What's your pregame meal choice?
If it's in the morning, it's an egg omelet, and I stack that thing with spinach and ham and all sorts of the good stuff. But if it's in the afternoon, I want some carbs. I want some pasta is always a big one. I love like the spaghetti and meatballs. I like to carb it up a little bit. I like to carb it up anyways, if I'm being honest. That's kind of where I'm at regardless. But that's where I'm going for a pregame meal.
I love it. I'm right there with you. Well, these have been your Ford Keys to the Game, presented by Ford F-Series. But let's get ready for our upcoming matchups. It's going to be our semifinals matches. Again, all 4 of our finalists, all 4 of our qualifiers. Looks like gameplay is just about ready here. We'll be transitioning to our first games of the day. We'll be doing a red zone style. So for those that maybe don't know what red zone is, I don't know how, if you don't know what red zone is, talking about what we're going to be doing, what the broadcast is going to look like. What does red zone style mean?
Yeah, so red zone style, you have multiple games at once. You're going to be able to see back and forth as to what is happening with each of our competitors. There's, of course, the 2 matches. We'll get to go in, especially if somebody's getting close to scoring, or we see something happening in the side window of a 2 box is what we call it in the broadcast business. You have that side-by-side window. If you're able to connect and see something happening, we're going to check in on the action where the action is happening. So that's where we're going to get after it initially, and it should be fun back and forth. I mean, usually the red zone side of things, they have this big saying early on where it's 7 hours of commercial-free football begins right now. Maybe not 7 hours worth of Madden NFL 24. However, we've got plenty of fun gameplay here over the next hour and a half that we're going to break down for you right here on Game Time.
That's right. You hit the nail on the head. Dallas Cowboys Game Time begins soon as we're going to be getting our first semifinal matchup kicked off. It's going to be Rudy Faulkner versus Slider K. Those are their gamer tags, of course. We mentioned it earlier. Rudy coming from Pittsburgh, 22 years old. Slider K, 21 years old from Morrow, Georgia. They'll be kicking off here in just a moment. I'm excited to see what's going to happen, though. I think they're going to be staying true to the audience here and the presenting tournament organizer and running the Dallas Cowboys. I like the decision against the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that's a decent call.
Yeah, I think so too. And the thing about the Cowboys, especially in Madden, is that defense is still elite. We saw it last night on Monday Night Football. Cowboys allowing just 17 points. Really could have been 10 points against that Chargers offense that entered with some of the better numbers in the NFL. You have that same advantage when you have Micah Parsons at the pass rushing spot. You have some playmakers at every level, like a Leighton Vander Esch, a Damone Clark at the second level, Trayvon Diggs on the outside. Of course, if you're playing true to the injury report, some of those guys may not be available. But I like the matchup overall. If you're going to spread out the weapons of the Kansas City Chiefs, you got to go at them quickly, and you got to have weapons on the defensive side, and that's what the Cowboys bring to the table.
After that brilliant analysis,
wow.
He's going to switch to the rivals.
Did they not like what I said? Is that
I don't know. Maybe it was, I blame you. I think that was 100% your fault.
Did I not sell it enough? That's unfortunate.
To be honest, you actually sold the hell out of me. But look at the jerseys, though. The Eagle all-black jerseys. How could you not go with that? Yeah, those are pretty cool.
The only thing the Eagles do well. I don't know if I can necessarily talk to Rudy anymore from this point forward. We are on a Cowboys channel, right? Oh, man, what a flip. He juked me out. That's the first juke of the day.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a Super Bowl rematch between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. That was hilarious. I'm so glad. Honestly, you sold the hell out of me. That breakdown was brilliant. The Micah Parsons analysis, top-tier commentary. I could tell why you're paid to talk about football for a living. That was fantastic. But looks like we're going to be getting a Super Bowl rematch instead. Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Rudy Faulkner playing as the Chiefs. Slider K playing as the Eagles, of course, coming from Georgia. And it's time for kickoff. Looks like we'll get nothing going. Just a touchback to get things started here. And real quick, as they're selecting plays and getting started, quick update for y'all, as it looks like one of our other qualifiers did not show up, was not able to play. That is TRMBJ. So that means Antonio Rodriguez, the 18-year-old from Centerville, Virginia, goes by Corn, will qualify to the grand finals due to no-show.
Wow.
So that's a big update here. So we will not be doing red zone style, flipping back and forth between games. We're going to be focused on this game, but that was interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting, and that's unfortunate to see Antonio Rodriguez. He was the youngest competitor out of anybody in the field, or at least out of these final four competitors. So, yeah, congratulations to Jeremy Griffin getting the chance to move on, and now he gets the chance to scout out a little bit. And of course, we're going to get a good look here of how some of these substitutions are made. A lot of speed is what it looks like Philadelphia is going with here. They've got that read option attack with guys like Jalen Hurts and company, two really talented running backs with Rashad Penny, Boston Scott. I'm excited to see how they utilize the ground game and have a balanced attack in terms of the on-field play as well.
Yeah, it's a good call. It looks like we're going to get a bit of a pause here. We did get word that it might be an audio issue for Rudy. Has no audio, can't hear game sound. Obviously kind of important, so I'm guessing that they're pausing here to get that resolved. Apologies for the delays, y'all, but it looks like gameplay. We'll be starting here in just a bit. Good breakdown, though. I love what you saw there from plays. And it looks like we're back. We're ready to get things going here.
And that's exactly what Philadelphia is going to do on offense. Defensively, they bring a lot of what Dallas brings, and kind of the breakdown I gave earlier. Playmakers at every level. That's when you have an elite defense. You're able to kind of rely on that defensive line, the second level, the secondary on the backside with your corners and your defensive backs. Philadelphia brings from a defensive standpoint. And Kansas City, I mean, you guys saw what they did in the Super Bowl,
right,
beating this Philadelphia team. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in football, 99 overall club for a reason, and he's an X factor in Madden too.
Right. It's kind of the coolest thing, by the way, to get a rating every year courtesy of Madden, unless you're Tom Brady and his sprint running speeds back in the day. But here we go, kicking off. Play number one, Patrick Mahomes going to be playing. Oh, my goodness, not the best start. Throwing off the rip on first down, trying to get explosive here. Nearly gets sacked, nearly gets intercepted, but instead we're jumping right into second down. Pat Mahomes back in shotgun. Throws it wide. Finds Kelsey for a 5-yard gain. Going to be 3rd and 4 here. Nice throw right out to the flats to Kelsey, and they're going to pick up 6.
Yeah, I really like the early looks here from this Philadelphia defense. I mean, there's some physicality post-whistle, but even with that being said, I mean, they're doing a good job of showing off the pass rush, getting there quickly, and if they're going to have any chance against Patrick Mahomes, they're going to try and maybe force an errant pass, try and force him into a quick decision, disrupt that timing.
That's right. It's much like we saw in the Super Bowl. A mean pass rush is what kept Patrick Mahomes at bay, kept him scrambling, just like we saw on first down here. Here we go, 3rd down. Opportunity to get the first down of the game so far. And he has all the time in the world. He's going to find Pacheco on the slant, connects for about 30. And they're going to run that ball over to the 50-yard line. Opportunity to keep driving.
Yeah, I love this. Pacheco, they mow back. And if you're able to use your running back as a receiver in the passing game, it's open fence.
That's right. Lining up here, show and run. High formation. And nope, it's going to be a quick pass out to the wide. He's going to get immediately lit up. No gain on the play. Make it a loss. Immediately jumping into 2nd down here, keeping things fast-paced, is Rudy Faulkner. Back in shotgun. So far, we've seen 5 throws. No run game at all, and that's going to be a continued trend here. Wide open again is going to be Pacheco. That's been his go-to so far for Mahomes. That's going to be another 1st down.
Yeah, really nice seeing him utilize Pacheco because not only can you motion him out and put him as a wide receiver, but he can have that delayed run up the middle in between the hash marks and use him in the passing game up front as well. Little curl back that time, wide open for a 1st down.
That's right. Oh, my, their first sack of the game. You talked about the pressure from this Philadelphia defense, and it shows. That's going to be a loss of 8. Going straight to 2nd down here, keeping things rolling. Great defensive pressure coming through. 2nd and 18 now for Mahomes. So far, 7 or 8 throws. No run game at all. Why would you if you have Patrick Mahomes on the team? And that's why Valdez-Scantling going to connect for a 1st down. That's going to be an 18-yard gain.
Yeah, that previous play, it was a free release. No blocking on the outside. Looked like somebody missed their assignment on the offensive line. Patrick Mahomes says, don't worry about it. No need to work ball out quick and let me find my man.
That's right. And first run of the game is going to go to Pacheco here. He's going to get tackled for a loss there. I believe it'll actually make it a yard gain. That's it. So first run of the game so far after going pass, decided to go for a run, but not able to get that wide open tear they were hoping. Almost gets sacked, almost gets intercepted again, is going to be Patrick Mahomes. Again, the continued pressure from the Philadelphia Eagles defense.
Yeah, that front 7 is nasty. That was Jalen Carter that got in there that time. First-round pick out of Georgia. He's had a huge element to lead his defense, but he did so here with Matthew.
Pat Mahomes back in shotgun again. We've gone audible a few times. 3rd and 9. This is a crucial 3rd down. Can they convert to 7 with another 1st to keep the drive going? No, the defensive pressure comes through again. Pat Mahomes nearly sacked. He's able to get rid of the ball to avoid some damage. And now it looks like they're going to settle for a field goal.
Wow, Josh Jobe, who has come in as a potential job here to provide the pressure. He's listed as a corner on the actual roster, but he forces Kansas City into a field goal on their opening drive.
Right, Harrison Butker connects for 3. So after a promising drive from Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City offense, looks like they'll settle for a field goal. Kickoff's going to come. They're going to give him a chance to return this. Eagles take it from the 14 and diving to a fall there. Interesting tactic, falling at the 22-yard line. The Eagles take over.
Here, this is where you're going to see some of that read option from Philadelphia. I like the team speed aspect of the Eagles, and of course in Madden, speed really does win games. And both of these teams have it, but nobody really has it like the Eagles. They say the fly Eagles, they can certainly fly around the field as well. Just like you saw it on defense, using some of these guys off of the edge in terms of speed rushers, they've done that, but now you've got a chance to see it on offense too.
Thought we might have another technical delay there. Looks like we'll keep on rolling. You like the call from the Chiefs to run the no-huddle offense, the fast-paced play, or do you think it would have helped them to slow things down a little bit there?
Yeah, I think it was okay. I like getting off to a hot start and kind of rolling against your defense, forcing them to make adjustments on the run. There were a couple plays there that worked out in their favor, I think, because the defense wasn't able to make an adjustment, wasn't able to get set, and it left an open lane for some movement.
That's right. Well, Philadelphia takes over. Jalen Hurts' turn as he's going to run the ball to kick things off. 2-yard gain for DeAndre Swift. Off to a decent start are the Eagles. After a couple audibles at the line there, you thought it was going to be passed. They run a quick out to DeAndre, connect for 2, and now it's 2nd and 8.
And that's exactly what you'll see from the Eagles on a multitude of occasions. A lot of reads, a lot of RPOs. In real life, you can use that in Madden too. You just read that edge defender. Not always the defensive end. It depends on who's coming off the side.
Yeah, that's right. They're going to stick to the run game. Only a 1-yard gain right there. You thought he had an open hole. If he could have gotten a burst of speed, could have maybe made it to the outside there, but a good play by the defender on the line. 3rd and 7 now. You got to be thinking pass here, right, Kyle?
Yeah, you got to. Look over the middle of the field, too. There's a lot of defense.
And middle looked wide open. Instead, he goes deep and connects for Sammy Watkins and stays on his feet, breaks the tackle. Yak comes through for an extra 15 or 20. A monstrous play right there from Sammy Watkins on the outside.
Yeah, Watkins just found his way open on the edge, got that corner route and looked wide open on the sideline. I thought with the cover 2 defense, they would have maybe that safety help over the top to the right side outside the numbers. Didn't have it there, left it wide open.
That's right. Actually, that was Quez Watkins. Actually, Quez Watkins, not Sammy Watkins. I thought maybe rosters were inactive and they did some trades or something. Maybe this is Madden Ultimate Team. I don't know. But no, instead that's Quez Watkins. The rosters are updated here for the Eagles as it looks like a no gain on 1st down. We'll jump into 2nd down here. Open on the outside. He goes back to Quez for a 5-yard gain. 3rd and 5 right now. And again, this is really but a good job of the Kansas City defense overall, keeping the Eagles at bay. Minus that one breakout play, Kansas City D has been looking strong so far, wouldn't you say, Kyle?
Yeah, this is a big 3rd down and 5. Try and hold them to a field goal and equal that first drive.
Oh, nearly intercepted under pressure there. Deflected. Actually looks like the pass was deflected. We just got a cue on screen. So will they go for it? Perhaps coach is showing a little bit of guts right now. Decides to go for it here on the 18-yard line. I don't hate this call.
I don't hate it, but if you're talking about the analytics that some of the coaches use at the NFL level, you do not take it on 4th and 5. Anything more than 4th and 2 is a risk. This is a big-time gutsy call in the early going.
We'll see if it pays off here. Looking for the pass. Finds someone open in the field, but the defensive play comes through. What a play from Edwards. 21, Kansas City defense prevails. It's going to be a turnover on downs here, Kyle.
Yeah, that was phenomenal. Terrell Edmonds, they signed him as an undrafted free agent from Pittsburgh in the offseason, but really that was made by the pressure off of that front 7. Kansas City forced Jalen Hurts to backpedal. He had to throw off of his back foot, and anytime you're on the run in Madden, especially quarterback-wise, it's going to be off. That wasn't a terrible throw, but that throw needed to be perfect. It wasn't, and it allowed for the pass breakup.
Kansas City off to the run game here to start. A little ugly running, but manages to dip and avoid a couple tackles is Pacheco. That's a 1st down and a 10-yard gain for Pacheco, going right into 2nd down here. Again, the quick offense, the no huddle coming through for Kansas City. Pass play on 2nd down finds a wide open Pacheco from the backfield, and he has been the impact player for this team so far, Kyle.
Oh, he is next level. 3 receptions for 50 yards already. They've utilized him in the run game, too. And you said ugly running. I saw a 1st down. So it wasn't pretty, but you got the job done, and that's what Isaiah Pacheco does.
Yeah, that's a fact. Pacheco is, 3rd-string running back starting last season behind Edwards-Helaire and a few others. Worked his way to the top with his pure skill. This time, though, he's going to go wide right to Tony. Connects for a bomb downfield. That's going to be a 30, 40-yard gain here for the Kansas City Chiefs. And they're rocking and rolling here, Kyle, right into 1st and 10.
Yeah, no doubt about it, and they go right back to the ground game. That balanced attack is something that the Kansas City Chiefs love to do with Andy Reid and company. By the way, I'm sitting here at the Star in Frisco. Mike McCarthy just walked by. I may need to ask him about that 4th and 5 decision because the Eagles may be regretting that at this moment and going for it that deep into their opponent's territory.
How about that? We get Mike McCarthy on this Madden broadcast to break down the game, what we're seeing so far. That's awesome, though. I've had a chance to attend and see the star of the practice field facilities over there one time. And I got to tell you, man, the fact that that's your office that you work out of every day is something. But here we go, back to gameplay. It's going to be a quick out to Travis Kelce. Connects for a first down to the flats. That's what Kelsey's so good for, so consistent. Rarely will you miss that first down opportunity.
Yeah, I love the play call. Go to your playmakers, put him out in the flat where he's got some space to work and able to move the chains.
First down and goal. Pacheco going to do it himself. Not able to get in. Gets a couple yards there. And we're going to have a second down and goal. We'll see if they stick to the run game here. Looks like we got a 2-minute warning. So you want to be smart and play out the clock there. That's probably why we've seen some more runs this quarter, trying to get 7 and not give much time on the clock for Philadelphia to answer.
Yeah, Philadelphia has all 3 timeouts, so time maybe not a huge factor at this point. But if Kansas City can punch this in, that's the real game changer.
And it looks like is it going to be a touchdown? Yes, it will. Touchdown. Pacheco makes it through, connects for 6. Harrison Bucker with the PAT. And you know he's good as ice on those. Already hit 1 from 38 earlier. That's going to be a 10-0 lead for the Kansas City Chiefs. Rudy Faulkner off to a great start here against Slider K.
Yeah, 8 plays on that drive. Took some time off the clock. That was the best case scenario. Following the turnover on downs, you forced the Philadelphia Eagles into a tough scenario. Slider K decides to go for it on 4th and 5. Unable to get it with the shot at the end zone. Now they are back against the wall and deciding to just go to the ground here. I actually like that because it saves time, and now he can kind of get to work on offense. All 3 timeouts with $1:55 left. You can kind of work down the field here at your own pace. Just make sure you continue to move the chains.
That's a great point. Especially with Jalen Hurts. But they're actually going to start with the run play. Try to catch the Kansas City Chiefs off guard here. We're playing more of a deep zone coverage. And they're going to connect for a first down. They got 3 timeouts. They got time on their side. And it's Madden. So it's just all the time in the world here. There's no reason to force things. I like that call.
I do too, and honestly, take what the defense gives you. That's a saying, of course, in the NFL. And if the defense is going to play back, they're going to allow you to give it to DeAndre Swift, then take it. This time, Chris Jones and that Kansas City defense weren't fooled. Not going to get bit a second time by that Philly run game.
Yeah, that's right. I saw another cover 2 right there, and this time, though, the D-line steps up. Looks like they're going to go to the pass game here. Wide open run. Instead decides to throw it downfield to Watkins again. Quez Watkins, the go-to for Jalen Hurts here today. And I think every pass has been completed to Watkins. That's going to be 102 yards on the day for Jalen Hurts. 85 for Quez. So he has one other throw as well. But so far, Jalen Hurts with a beautiful connection down the seam.
Yeah, and that was discipline. He saw the lane right in front of him, could have taken off of Jalen Hurts. It would have been a first down, but that was definitely where the chunk yardage was. Now you got 30 seconds and all 3 timeouts.
That's right. Back on the floor to DeAndre Swift for a swift 6 yards, 2nd and 4 right now with 24 seconds only on the clock. So we go from saying that time doesn't really matter. Well, time is of the essence now. Clock management going to come through. I doubt we'll see any more run plays.
If you want to use those timeouts, you probably could. Sure. If you wanted to reset the downs and then take some shots at the end zone. But I agree with you for the most part. I think you got to start throwing this thing around.
Look at the defensive coverage. And the pressure's going to come through from the safety. I like that call to release your safety. Put some pressure on Jalen Hurts, so he does not have all day. And you think Hurts should have taken off right there? Could have easily picked up 15-20 with timeout left.
They might have been thinking the same thing you just pointed out. Maybe not enough time to call the timeout there. I think he could have picked up some yardage, but that was a coverage play. Kansas City had that thing blanketed at the second level.
That's right. Big third down here. And I don't think there's any world where you try and go for it again here on 4th instead of getting 3 points on the board. Looks like a timeout's going to come through for Kansas City, slowing things down, trying to make sure they have the right coverage.
Yeah, it didn't look like they liked the look there of what Philadelphia was putting out there. Now forces Philadelphia to make some adjustments too.
Big third down for Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. And for Slider K, who's going to find Goddard, the tight end, takes it all the way down to the 3, but this quarter with 13 seconds left and one more timeout alive. An opportunity for Philly to put up 7.
Yeah, Dallas Goedert works open on the seams. A cover 2 is open down the middle for the tight end. Dallas Goedert, one of the best at working deep into the defenses, and he found a wide open tight end.
And what was a wide open hole right there? You thought Swift was just going to run it right through. Ends up being a tackle at the 1 yard line. So here we go. Interesting decision. No more timeouts here. 9 seconds on the clock. Interested to see how Philly plays this.
I would just run it. I figured Philadelphia is the best team in the world at running the QB sneak.
Instead, they're going to find one out for a connection to the flats. That's going to be a touchdown here in our semifinal matchup. Much needed 6 points. Can they convert to 7? Looks good so far. And the conversion will come through. With 5 seconds on the clock, we got ourselves a 3-point game here, Kyle.
Yeah, I really love that call, and really a great drive, stacking plays upon one another, able to work down the field methodically, and in doing so, found your guys. You found Dallas Goedert for a huge gain, found Quez Watkins over the middle, and then ultimately Devontae Smith works open. The former Heisman Trophy winner gets his first touchdown, and just like that, Philadelphia's right back in it after that 4th and 5 call earlier didn't go their way. What a response from Slider K here to get right back into things and make this a one-possession game going into halftime.
Yeah, it was a statement drive from Slider K when it seemed like Rudy was going to run away with this game, able to take it downfield and get 7. You see the prevent defense coming through, and yep, Kansas is going to run this and call it a half. It looks like we're going into our second half with a 3-point game. Looking much like our Super Bowl last year with how close that was. We got ourselves another great matchup.
Yeah, and it's funny. I was looking at the comments. I was wondering if Taylor Swift is in the stands for this one. Of course, watching Travis Kelce, I mean, and her being a Philadelphia fan, being from Philly, you would think she would be there for this one. This would be about as easy as possible. Kelsey's got both of their brothers playing in this. You think Taylor would be in attendance for this, at least in the virtual world, right?
That's right. Yeah, it wouldn't be an NFL broadcast without Taylor Swift mentioned at least one time, so you have to keep it going. But I agree. Listen, how good is EA and the EA Tiburon Studio game development team in developing metaverse-like experiences with Taylor Swift as a virtual avatar in Madden? Now, that would be something. I don't know if they've capitalized.
If we could take a second and just scan the crowd, scan the suites, we may have it.
That's right. Oh, man. Well, we got a second half kicking off and underway. And guess what? Philly does start with the ball here, as I believe they deferred in the first half. So, again, massive drive. Not only do you get 7 to wrap up the half, you get the ball back here in the second half and an opportunity to do it again.
Yeah, a chance to double dip. And I really like taking a shot on first down there. Taking a shot on second down, too.
And that shot will pay off. More like a moonshot. Quez Watkins, Jalen's go-to, in the end zone for an 80-yard bomb. That's a touchdown. Massive play from Jalen Hurts. After going for the long ball on first down, goes for it again on second down. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Connection, 14-10 right now. Eagles up.
Quez Watkins, by the way, on the season for Philadelphia in 3 games has just 4 receptions for 21 yards. He is absolutely taken off. 192 passing yards. I feel like most of those have gone to Quez Watkins, and he continues to put up great numbers.
4 receptions for 21 yards. I just looked that up as well, and you are right. I had to fact check that because honestly, I didn't believe it, as he has over 100 yards in the day so far. But it just goes to show your Madden rating isn't everything. I don't know what this Quez Watkins connection is all about here for Slider K, but it's working. Don't stop.
And he was always a deep threat. He comes out of Wisconsin. Actually, I had a chance to talk with him one-on-one at the Combine back in 2020 prior to COVID, and that was what he talked about. He talked about his ability to get behind the defense and use the track speed. He ran track growing up, so having that track speed, I'm sure it translates well to Madden, and it's certainly translated to this one.
It's awesome. 25 years old. Quez Watkins, but now we're back on offense, the Kansas City Chiefs. And Pacheco with the diving catch. It's going to be a first down. What a beautiful catch from the running back, showing he can do it all.
Yeah, that was a big catch for Pacheco. Just like what Watkins has been for Philadelphia, Pacheco has been that go-to for Kansas City. Rudy Faulkner trying to utilize his tailback quite a bit. I like that from a game plan standpoint.
Back to the air game and a wide open Pacheco again. So it's basically turning into a one-on-one. Pacheco with a couple broken tackles, finally going to get taken down, took an army, or at least a couple of Eagles defenders. But it's basically becoming a 1-versus-1. Quez Watkins versus Isaiah Pacheco is what it seems like.
That's what it looks like. And Pacheco is so slippery. He's one of the guys that's yards after the catch, as opposed to Pacheco or to Watkins, who's just going to go over the top, and he's going to take it with a contested catch, as opposed to Pacheco working to open space.
Yeah, that's a good point. And that Kelsey dip out to the flats has been so reliable. I think he's 3 for 3 for a couple yards on that. I don't know what that was there. That's going to be a loss. It's, I think, attempted quarterback sneak. And looks like he may run it again. No huddle. Once again, third down. Big third down here for the Chiefs. And Mahomes back to the ground game and gives it to his trusty Pacheco, who connects for a first down and more.
And look at Travis Kelce all the way down at the 15-yard line, laying a block. If Pacheco breaks that tackle right there at the end, he had an open lane for pay dirt and had a chance to take it for 6. Good play call on third down and short. I really like that. Running off your right tackle, letting your big blocking tight end do some work downfield.
That's right. And I thought that was Kelsey. Nope. Instead, it's going to be Gray connect for the touchdown. Touchdown, Chiefs. And it looks like Rudy Faulkner punches back. Driving the ball downfield wasn't as quick as we saw from Slider K with the one-shot bomb. He did it the old-fashioned way, and it's going to be another 7 points picked up for the Chiefs. They take the lead again, 17-14.
Yeah, Noah Gray says, Travis Kelce, who? He said, I'm the tight end that's going to work into the end zone and find the touchdown for this one. That was such an easy drive. I really liked that. It looks like Rudy Faulkner's doing a good job of reading this Philadelphia defense. I'm interested to see if Slider K can maybe make some adjustments, throw off this Kansas City passing attack, because that was way too easy to work methodically down the field and get the 6.
Yeah, it was a well-orchestrated drive as well. Good combination of run and pass game. Old-fashioned way, as mentioned. Let's see if they go for another bomb here on first down. Something tells me defensive adjustments will be made from the Chiefs. And it's going to be the first sack of the game here. Jalen Hurts gets taken down by, I believe that was Karlaftis, my Greek brother for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, George Karlaftis, one of the big, meaty run defenders off of that Kansas City edge rush. I love watching him play. And honestly, I will say it, outside of the Cowboys, Kansas City is my favorite team to play with on Madden, and I almost significantly play with George Karlaftis off the edge. I love singling in on him and playing that isolation game.
We just got a word from production. Believe we may have gotten the overlay backwards. So swap of teams and players per team. Slider K playing as the Chiefs. Rudy Faulkner playing as the Eagles. Apologies for the mishap there, but just want to make sure to get that corrected. We got 2 quarters left.
Rudy Faulkner is the one that I need to be upset about because he switched off the Cowboys prior to game time. So Rudy,
he baited you. And as you say that, Rudy Faulkner throws an interception. So you clearly just jinxed him. That's the definition of Caster's curse right there. As our first interception of the game, it's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. And this is an opportunity now for Slider K on the Chiefs to get a significant lead. That's going to be great field positioning for the Chiefs here on midfield.
Here's the thing. You said baited. I baited him, and that's what Mike Edwards just did. He worked off of the line of scrimmage. He gave some pad to the wide receiver. It allowed for Philadelphia to throw it over the top, and Rudy Faulkner threw it into that coverage. In comes Edwards. Edwards with the pick. First turnover of the game, and it comes at a crucial time. Kansas City has a chance to take a 2-score lead here late going into that fourth quarter, but hey, 3rd and 13, Philadelphia not making this easy.
I got to say, I'm beyond impressed by how Rudy Faulkner and the Eagles have responded after a big mishap and mistake with the interception. Their defense has been lights out, starting with that Edmonds play on the run defense, followed by the good pass defense coming through. The Edmonds brother, looks like we're seeing blitz here coming from the Eagles. They're going to keep up with the aggression. Ooh, actually fakes the blitz, runs back outside, but it's going to be okay. Valdez-Scantling again on a 10-yard, actually make that a 12-yard connect. First down, Kansas City Chiefs. So after some promising defense from the Eagles, Kansas City able to pick up the first down.
Yeah, it's a great job by Slider K of knowing exactly where the sticks are, allowing for his wide receiver to run to the marker and then come back, have that separation, and then great timing with Patrick Mahomes to put that one on the money, move the chains, and keep this drive alive going into the fourth.
That's right. And it's fourth quarter time. 5 minutes left on the clock here. 3-point game. Kansas City with a chance to capitalize. And that deficit, if the Eagles cannot prevent a score, that deficit might be tough to overcome here with just a few minutes left in the fourth quarter. This is a big defensive stand for the Eagles, a big test. And almost gets his finger on it, but instead it's going to be a first down. That's a big first down from Tony. 51 yards on the day across 2 receptions, and the Eagles in the red zone, and not even better than that, 1st and goal.
Yeah, the coverage was there, but that was just a more perfect throw from Patrick Mahomes to hit his man on the run, hit him in stride, and now it's setting things up inside the 10.
That's right. Back to the run game. 2nd and goal here on the 1-yard line. You got to think they run it right down the nose again here to Pacheco in the backfield. I formation. See what the Chiefs go through. Nope, it's going to be a pass instead. Mahomes, bootleg left, finds Kelce in the end zone, goes to Gray last time around. This time gets it back to his tight end. Travis Kelce with the touchdown. Kansas City Chiefs go up 10.
Oh, that was so crafty from Mahomes and from Slider K. Bootlegs out to the left. He almost takes it to the sideline, but the patience, the awareness downfield, waiting for that just slight window of opportunity to hit his tight end in stride, put a perfect throw right on the sideline to where only Travis Kelce could catch it. That was perfectly executed and a textbook bootleg and really a goal line scenario. Those are not easy plays to convert on, and honestly reminiscent of what Kansas City did against Philadelphia in the Super Bowl this past February as well.
That's right. And a bootleg to the left here for a right-handed Patrick Mahomes. Only him, though, as a magician, can make that look so seamless. Brilliant play, brilliant touchdown for Kansas City. Now Philadelphia has to respond and has to do it quick. They could use another one of those bombs, and they'll find it. And guess who it is? Once again, his go-to, Quez Watkins, with a bomb downfield. Great first down play.
232 passing yards for Philadelphia. Quez Watkins has 190 of them on just 5 receptions. Unbelievable.
Back to the pass game all the time in the world. And he just throws it out of bounds there. Didn't see much going on. Didn't want to force it.
Yep, that's saving clock, not wanting to throw it into coverage. Kansas City's been great in this coverage. I think Slider K has been phenomenal in terms of selecting this defense, making the right adjustments pre-snap at the line of scrimmage. Those different audibles defensively, they play a role in Madden because it keeps teams off balance offensively. Whenever you're seeing all of this movement up front from an offensive standpoint, you can do the same thing defensively to keep teams at bay.
That's right. Back to the pass game here. 2nd and 10. And a big-time sack going to come through for Jones. Chris Jones once again, the pressure. And that's going to put the Philadelphia Eagles and Rudy Faulkner in quite the hole. 3rd and 14, needing to convert. And at this point, you got to say this is 4-down territory.
It's got to be. And that might show on this play call, try and pick up some yards here.
And instead, that's going to be right in the hands of Reed again and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs defense comes through again with another interception. And you got to think it's going to be all but over here if the Chiefs can convert just a few first downs. Brilliant plays from Slider K on the defense.
Yeah, he was fantastic. Justin Reed just read that all the way through, jumped underneath. He was looking for Dallas Goedert on the seam. It was very similar to the play call we saw in the first half that led to a Philadelphia score, but Rudy Faulkner goes right back to it. Kansas City wasn't fooled, able to make the jump underneath the route and have a 2nd straight interception. Not the day that Rudy Faulkner thought he'd have.
Stick to the running game and a first down picked up. That's 1 for Pacheco. Brilliant run coming through once again from the staple. And Slider K, a.k.a. Khalil Franklin, 21-year-old from Morrow, Georgia, with an opportunity to punch his ticket into the grand finals here. One step closer from winning the grand prize of an all-expenses-paid trip to Dallas to attend a Cowboys game.
Yeah, and all he needs is one more first down from a timing standpoint, and that would be it. Because from that point forward, he get into just kneeling it out and getting into that final matchup and trying to win that grand prize.
That's right, Pacheco with the 4-yard pickup. One more first down should do it for the Chiefs.
And Pacheco was really the go-to guy for this Kansas City offense all day long. Mahomes did his job. He dotted and dotted his I's, crossed his T's all the way through, but it was Pacheco that was really the X factor and one that Slider K used throughout the game to have some success.
Back to the pass game, and it's going to be another first down pickup and more. Pretty moves for Tony, and he'll connect for a touchdown just to run up the score. The Kansas City Chiefs adding insult to injury. Another touchdown from the hands of Mahomes.
Yeah, the stats go up, and that's certainly something to look at. But honestly, with that being the end of the game, if he just goes down there, I thought he would go down to the ground and ensure the fact that he's moving on. Now Philadelphia does at least get the ball back. Of course, it would still take a miracle to make something happen, but mark that down should Philadelphia do something special here to get back within striking distance, because he could have just gone to the ground and the game would have been over.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good point. So, little touchdown, quick
Still a lot of time
onside kick,
left here,
touchdown,
too.
quick onside kick. Exactly. Can you imagine?
A lot of time left, 2 timeouts.
That's right, 3-score game, though, and that's going to help. At least gives them a chance and a start. Once again, Quez Watkins on the deep ball and the bomb. Minute 37, that's going to be 7 picked up. They still got a ways to go.
Yeah, he only took 8 seconds off the clock there to go 80 yards. By the way, Quez Watkins is just still doing everything for this Philadelphia attack. But now you get into onside kick territory. Should you recover the onside kick for Philadelphia, they're very much so right back in this. Kansas City just needs to recover and then take a knee, and you'll win this thing outright in a spot in the finals for Slider K.
That's right. So can we see the unthinkable? 10-point game. Minute 37 left on the clock. Onside kick comes from Elliott. And it's going to be right in the hands of no one. He didn't pick it up, but the Eagles are going to recover. The Eagles recover, and an opportunity. The dream stays alive for Rudy Faulkner.
No doubt, it definitely stays alive. 137 left, already won. And honestly, Kansas City wasn't even close there to recovering it. So maybe the second onside kick could go their way as well.
All right. Perhaps in Madden, onside kicks are a little bit easier than in real life. I don't know. Or was that just an exception? I don't know what that play was. Someone on the Chiefs just beelining towards that ball, letting it bounce off his knee.
Wow. I can't believe, even whenever I was saying that following the Kadarius Toney touchdown, I was like, you know what? All it just takes is just one onside kick and you're fine. Things are getting interesting, though.
Yeah, I think you were just doing your job as a commentator, just keep the dream alive. I think you have to do that as a broadcaster. But genuinely, I think you were actually right. I mean, touchdown here, an opportunity to go deep again. Oh, too high over the heads. Sails through, almost through the uprights there. Minute left to go. Rudy's got to score quick. Oh, he's going for a field goal. Okay.
This is actually very smart, because then it allows you got to get an onside kick either way. So if you kick this, it makes it a one-possession game. Got to get the onside kick regardless, and then you have a chance to go into it knowing, hey, you could go for 2 and win the game and hold on to it afterwards. I love this call from Rudy Faulkner. Great strategy. He took one shot at the end zone, just took a couple seconds off the clock. Now you got to get the onside for a second time.
It all comes down to this. This is the game here. Onside kick once again from Elliott. And this time going to be caught by the Kansas City Chiefs. And that should all but secure the win here for Rudy Faulkner. Or sorry, for Slider K, a.k.a. Khalil Frank, and 21-year-old again from Morrow, Georgia. Minute left on the clock. 2 timeouts for the Eagles. So, again, maybe a chance, but 1 first down will certainly cement it.
Yeah, that'll be
field
it
goal
all the way through. Yeah, it's donezo once these plays start to kind of run off the clock a little bit. He's seeing it, too, all the way back. He knows that the clock is in his favor. Just don't fumble the ball. That's the number one thing. I will say, Slider K is going to hold on and win this, but I guarantee following that onside kick, the heart rate almost doubled, because he could see what could have happened going into it. Now he has a chance to just run out the clock.
Yeah, that's a good point. The third down, no timeouts left. That's all she wrote. Rudy Faulkner, valiant effort with the onside kick recovery and the field goal. Quick touchdown scored from Watkins. Really impressive stuff across the board from both teams. Congratulations to both competitors. Nearly a safety there, which would have been interesting, but certainly not going to happen. Clock will be ran out.
There's actually a second difference between the play clock and the game clock. So here's the smartest play, is Townsend takes the snap and then just takes a second and then runs out of bounds. Doesn't actually get the punt off. But I don't know if you can technically do that in Madden unless you called a fake just now. So he may actually well, there you go. Flag.
Encroachment.
Yeah, that should have given enough time to run off the clock, because the clock shouldn't stop there. That might have been
That's it. Yeah,
that's it.
all
Now
because
he
of an
can run off the
encroachment,
clock.
though.
Yep, now he can run off the clock.
That's right.
Rudy Faulkner did what he could, got back in it, did what he could, but it was Slider K that was the better of the two in this one.
Yeah, that's right. Congratulations again to Slider K. Both competitors playing incredibly well, but Khalil Franklin will qualify for the grand finals here of the Dallas Cowboys Game Time Tournament to play against Corn, a.k.a. Antonio Rodriguez, 18 years old from Centerville, Virginia. Great matchup, though, in our semifinals. Both players played tremendously, you got to say here, Kyle.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I thought for the most part, Slider K just had the breaks go his way. He had the 2 interceptions. He got off to a quick start and was able to really weather the storm because Philadelphia had the advantage from moving the ball standpoint. They had the easier big plays with Quez Watkins and company. So if you don't have the big breakup, the big pass breakup in the end zone that was a turnover on downs, you don't have the 2 interceptions, I think we're talking about a completely different outcome. But that's the thing, is whenever mistakes were made by Jalen Hurts and Rudy Faulkner, Slider K had an answer for it and was able to take full advantage, eventually running out the clock.
That's right. Just take a look at the replays here. You hit the nail on the head. I think ultimately the turnovers are what made the difference there. And despite 2 turnovers, the fact that Rudy Faulkner was able to keep it close and give himself a chance in the end there. Impressive stuff. That was the deep ball that just worked so incredibly well for Rudy throughout. But Slider K, I think it's overall great defensive play, was just a little bit more consistent. Obviously, the Patrick Mahomes effect was great, but across the board, just hard-nosed football coming through for the Chiefs. Nothing too flashy, really consistent play from Slider K, and he'll be advancing to the finals as a result. Here's those turnovers we're talking about.
Yeah, if you're in Madden, and especially with as talented as these players are at this point in the game and in this point in the tournament, if you have a chance to win the takeaway battle and you do win the takeaway battle, you're going to have a great opportunity to win the game. And that's exactly what happened. Slider K won the turnover battle. He took away 2 and then had the big stand in the red zone. If that doesn't happen, then I think this is a completely different ball game. But if you win the takeaway battle, even in real football, if you win it, you've got a really good chance to win the game. But even more so in Madden, whenever the games are so short and possessions are all so crucial all the way through, if you're able to take advantage of those possessions, you've got a chance to win.
That's exactly right. So we will see Slider K going up against Corn, a.k.a. Antonio Rodriguez, in our grand finals of the Dallas Cowboys Madden tournament. This is the Dallas Cowboys Game Time tournaments. If you're tuning in for the first time, first off, welcome. I'm a Chicago Bears fan, but I got to be honest with you, I've quickly become a Dallas Cowboys fan because
you can't
of all
say
that.
that.
I got to say it. I got to be honest. I'm a Chicago boy. I'm wearing the shirt,
okay.
but the Cowboys have quickly become my second favorite team because they're running esports tournaments on a monthly basis. Basically, like this is pretty damn awesome. I don't see any other NFL teams doing all of the Cowboys have done for esports and supporting gaming, which is pretty damn awesome. But I hope you guys are enjoying the action at home. It's been fun to watch so far. Our first semifinal matchup, and guess what? It's time for our halftime, and we got some pretty interesting content for y'all in our Lenovo halftime show. We had a chance to chat with Deuce Vaughn, running back from Kansas State on the Dallas Cowboys, and talk all things gaming, football, and life. Let's go ahead and throw it to our interview with Deuce Vaughn. Enjoy. We'll be back.
Hi, guys. It's Hercules, and I'm joined here with Deuce Vaughn from the Cowboys. This is such an exciting interview, man. I'm so stoked to get to know you and to meet you, and I love, getting to talk to you guys whenever you're also interested in, like, the gaming space and all that. It's such, like, a cool clash of, like, worlds kind of colliding. So I guess let's just hop into this one. I mean, off the rip, I have to ask, like, what are some of your favorite games to play?
Yeah. So I'm a big sports video game guy. So Madden, 2K, FIFA, but I also love Call of Duty. Played Fortnite a lot whenever it first came out. I was on that all the time. But like Spider-Man,
Okay.
a lot of the new one's about to come out, so I will be hopping on that.
Same.
So I try to have a big variety of games I try and play, and I love video games. They've done so much for me up to this point in my life.
What kind of, like, has it done for you? Is it like a mental thing, like a nice break away from, like, your day-to-day life, or like what's all the history?
Yeah. So just it's always been like a getaway for me. Of course, I'm with football and just so much stress and everything that's put on not only your body, but your mind, your mental, to go out and perform every single day. coming home and being able to turn on my video games and getting to interact with friends that I may not have talked to in a while, but we get on the game and it's like we have been talking with each other and we haven't seen each other in months. But I mean, just to be able to have that and then just have that getaway is huge. I feel like for myself, it's always been like that since I was a little kid. I'll never forget when I first got my first PlayStation, and that love has kind of just grown ever since.
Well, let's move into football. This is the part that I'm so excited about. So I do have to say it for everybody context. If you know me, you know I am one of the biggest Cowboys fans. I've been a Cowboys fan my whole life. I'm from South Texas. So I have to have my fangirl moment. I'm so stoked to be talking to you.
Love it.
I have to ask, what is your favorite part about playing for the Dallas Cowboys?
I feel like for myself, just like my dream coming true. I've wanted to play in the NFL since I was a little kid. I grew up around football, my dad being the coach. So I'd seen it at the college level, which made me want to play at the college level. And then, of course, getting to college and saying, I kind of have a chance to go and do this thing and fulfill my lifelong dream. So I feel like for myself, just being in the building every single day, meeting the guys that you watch play while you were in high school and middle school, and now you get to be teammates with them, but also just becoming a better football player every single day because you're playing with the best is really, really cool. I mean, atmospheres on game day. I mean, you get to travel, you can do all these things that, I mean, you just dreamed about as a little kid. So, I mean, it doesn't get much better.
Oh, I love that for you. Honestly, that is so special. I think, like as a Cowboys fan, we always wonder like if it's like your lifelong dream to like actually be a part of that team. Cause I know how that works sometimes that somebody's like, oh, I have a dream to be on like this specific team. And then it happens and you're like, you can just tell when somebody is really, really happy to be a part of that franchise.
100%. 100%.
Well, I do want to ask, we're gonna do some like fun questions.
Okay.
What is your pregame routine like?
Okay. Mine's actually pretty simple. I'm a big music person.
Okay.
So I have my own playlist and I kind of have to like match up what I listen to at certain points in time. So like by the time I get onto the bus, I'm into my playlist, and by the time that we get to the stadium, I walk the field to the song called "Respect the Game" by Meek Mill. I touch both goalposts. I do this before every single game. As soon as I get to the stadium, I walk the field, and by the time I get off the field, that song is usually done. I'll pray before I go in. I'll leave the field, and then I go in, and after that, I mean, stretching and doing everything that you can do to get ready for the game. But that's really like music is a big part of my pregame routine, and that walk is kind of something I do to be with myself before the game.
I love that's such like a nice, calm and like simple routine that like it's definitely one of those ones that's like, it'll get you really hyped when it's like right. Everything's like aligned like with your music and all that stuff.
100%. And I try to stay like, and it's funny because usually the bus ride to the games are like different times. So like maybe 20 minutes, it might be 15. So I have to kind of rewire it. But that Respect the Game is coming on every single time that I step onto that field and I walk it.
Okay, I love that. You spoke a little bit about how your family is really like into drawing and you were like, "Oh, like I would take lessons." Speaking on lessons and things like that and learning, did you have anybody that kind of like mentored you, like into this part of your life? Like was there like a coach or like somebody, that kind of like led you to this?
Yeah. So my dad is actually a really big part of the reason why I played football. He was a coach before I was born, and he coached for 17 years, and now he's a scout. So he's still around the game. And I mean, just he's been my rock. I mean, kind of whenever I told him I wanted to go and do this and play in the NFL, I think I was 7 at the time. I was very, very young when I told him, and he was like, man, he's kind of been that person that if I have a question or if I have something that's going on, I go to. And he helped me so much throughout high school and the recruitment process and really the lack thereof when it came to recruitment, and just keep your head in it and everything's going to work out. And he was kind of that voice of reason for me. So it was huge. And then, of course, getting to college, Darren Sproles went to Kansas State, and he's somebody that I got to meet, him being the same size that I am playing this game. I mean, he's the blueprint. He played 15 years in the league. He's top 5 all time when it comes to all-purpose yards. So I have his phone number. I ask him questions all the time ever since I met him at Kansas State because if I want to play for a very, very long time in this league, that's a person I need to be talking to because he did it. And so those are probably the big two. And of course, I have coaches and family and friends that help me along the way. But those two are the first that pop out.
Oh, I love that. I love that you were able to have like that relationship with your dad to like carry it through all the way to the end, which is, or technically the end at the is like signifying the beginning though of a very crazy
it's the
career.
finish line to get started back on a new race.
Yeah.
100%.
All right. Well, I guess last one, I think it's always nice to have goals outside of, your biggest one, and you've achieved clearly your biggest one, but do you have a massive goal outside of football that you'd like to accomplish one day?
Yeah, I've always wanted to be a sports agent. That's kind of been, if I couldn't play with the best, I wanted to represent the best. Was kind of the biggest thing. So I took entrepreneurship throughout college, and so for myself, I'd love to open up my own sports agency one day. That's probably the biggest outside of football. Of course, here I am talking about like the sports after I get done, but I mean that's just kind of how I've always been wired. I mean, I love this game, I love sports in general, and I love the business side of football. It can be a little nasty, but I mean, I just love being that voice of reason, a person that can be connected to these kids that are coming out of college, just like my agent is. He's done a phenomenal job of just teaching me the ways of to be safe whenever it comes to with your money and whenever you're going through everything like that. I want to be that type of person for somebody, and for a lot of people. I really, really like the dynamic that he's done. It kind of signified what I wanted to do.
I love that. I feel like we definitely need more people like that in the industry, whether that's in traditional sports or esports, right? Is like having that good, healthy generation once we all kind of stop playing. And those of us that want to continue into the business side, you got to have the good people that want to, create another generation of like-minded players and stuff like that. So I love that for you. And I hope that, that all works out. But I'm so excited to watch your career this season, and we'll continue to watch your career this season, and also just in the future. And so thank you so much for your time here in this interview. It was a huge honor. I guess the last thing I would say would just be, do you have any advice to any young players out there that are trying to get to, where you are?
Yeah. The biggest advice I can give to somebody that may be in high school, middle school, college, and wants to play in the NFL, want to be successful is the process of getting here is more important than the result. I feel as if for myself, whenever I was going through everything, it was all about, okay, I want to play in the NFL, I want to play in the NFL, I want to play in the NFL, which kind of allowed me not to see the day-to-day process that has to be put in, the work that has to be put in to make that happen. So the biggest thing I would tell everybody is take it day by day. Become the best person, become the best player, become the best business person, whatever you want to accomplish every single day, and everything will work itself out. That process is going to take you to the result, and you can't just fast forward to the result. You have to take that process seriously.
Oh, well, that is such beautiful advice. And guys, definitely pay attention to it if you had the chance to hear it. And also, thank you so much for watching and hanging out with us again, guys. Deuce Vaughn, thank you so much for hanging out with me, man. It was a huge honor. Good luck this season. It'll be a good one. We're all going to be watching. 100%. And thank you all so much for watching here, and we'll see you next time.
Man, what an awesome interview right there with Deuce Vaughn, who I heard during the interview was chatting with you. You had a chance to get to know him quite a bit on a bus ride recently. Wholesome person, seems like an awesome individual. Talked about your experience chat with him in the bus.
Yeah, he quickly became one of my favorite players on the entire roster, wow. and no doubt about it, he's down to earth. And I've gotten the chance to know his dad over the years, just working with the Cowboys, and he's been in the scouting department. He talked about really how much his dad has been a mentor throughout his life, and on and off the field, been a mentor for Deuce throughout. And because of that, we were all very excited whenever the draft call was made. It was the 6th round. It was a little bit later than what the Vaughn family really anticipated because he led the all-purpose purpose, or led the FCS, or FBS, I should say, major college football in all-purpose yards in his final season with Kansas State. So the fact that he lasted to the 6th round was a little bit crazy, but once he got drafted, it was elation, no doubt. Nobody in the building was unhappy with the pick. I mean, everybody was just beside themselves at how cool of a moment that was. And then getting the chance to ride with him on the bus out to Oxnard, I got the chance to ask him about gaming and what his passions were, and wanting to become a sports agent, things like that. I mean, all really cool things for a guy who has really started to make a name for himself, even here with the Cowboys, and hoping to see some more of him on the field. He's had some playing time, 20 carries already this season. Still hasn't found the end zone the regular season. Got a chance to call a touchdown grab from him in the preseason, but we want to see him really utilize that skill set a little bit more as the season goes along, and hopefully we can continue to do that here with the Cowboys.
Oh, man. Yeah, the future is bright for Deuce Vaughn. What a great interview. Very well spoken. I was impressed across the board. Excited to see his career continue to develop and flourish. And, of course, like you said, what a special moment. His dad, a scout for the Dallas Cowboys, getting to scout his own son, and now in the same organization. You love to see it. But, hey, we have our grand finals matchup for the Dallas Cowboys tournament ready to go here in just a moment. I'm excited for this one. It's going to be a great matchup. We saw what Slider K can do. We haven't had a chance to see Antonio Rodriguez, the young 18-year-old who goes by Corn 1085 from Centerville, Virginia. That's going to be our grand finals matchup, and I'm excited to see what they can both do.
See, and that's what's interesting about this is who has the advantage. You always talk about it, whether you get a chance to kind of get on the sticks and get loose, kind of get that adrenaline pumping. Slider K has that because he's already played a semifinal match. But then on the other side for Corn, he hasn't seen any action yet. He hasn't seen that level of intensity, but he also is fresh, and he got a chance to kind of scout a little bit on the semifinal matchup. So really interested to see how this one turns out and who gets off to an early start, because we saw it in that first matchup. If you can get off to some early points, you're going to have a chance to win it.
I cannot believe what I'm seeing right now, but we're going to have the Jets. That's right, the New York Football Jets playing against the Kansas City Chiefs in our grand finals matchup. But I'm with it. All right. This will be an upset of a lifetime. And I got to agree with you. I think the fact that Slider K is coming warmed up is a massive advantage. You get to play a really tough matchup in the semifinals. And for those that maybe are just joining the broadcast, Corn, a.k.a. Antonio, playing as the Jets. He actually won by disqualification or no-show. His opponent was not able to make it due to a conflict. So he's coming in a little bit cold here and playing as the Jets, which should be interesting here. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
So the first thing that I had to look at was the Jets, and you said the same thing. You said, okay, why are the Jets in this conversation? Well, they're actually in Madden one of the higher-rated teams because of Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback. Aaron Rodgers injured in real life, torn ACL, and one of the just 4 snaps into his first game as a New York Jet. And then they have one of the top defenses in football, including Sauce Gardner on the outside, one of the best cornerbacks in coverage. So if he's able to go up and cover on the outside against this Kansas City Chiefs wide receiving core, then all of a sudden you at least lock down a third of the field with a guy like Sauce Gardner right up there in the upper 90s of his Madden rating. I'm interested to see how they'll utilize the offense, though, because Aaron Rodgers is a pocket passer. He's going to have to dink and dunk and try and move the ball effectively through the pocket. He's not like Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes in what we saw in that semifinal matchup, to where he's mobile and he can run around if need be. It's going to rely on the passing game heavily for Corn to see if he can continue to make some success or have some success offensively. And then I really like the two-headed backfield too. He has Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook, 2 guys that are very speedy out of the backfield. See if they use that read option there back and forth as well.
Yeah, all great points, actually. So it might be a much closer matchup than meets the eye, given obviously Aaron Rodgers will be in play. The Jets defense, yeah, it's well said indeed. Battle of 2 very different quarterbacks, right? You've seen them play against each other a few times when Aaron was on the Packers. Patrick Mahomes is going to play a lot faster, going to play on the outside, a lot more run game involved. Aaron Rodgers staying in the pocket, like you said, as well. But we get to kick off by seeing what Aaron Rodgers can do, something we haven't seen much of this season in the NFL.
No, and it might be a what-if season for the New York Jets. How about that? Garrett Wilson, too, also very fun as a wide receiver. See how quickly it takes for him to get involved.
Yeah, that's right. It's going to be a defensive pressure coming through off the rip here. And Aaron Rodgers is ready to be put on his back and already yelling at his teammates, something that Aaron Rodgers, again, Bears fan I mentioned earlier, unfortunately had to get defeated by Aaron Rodgers for better of 15 years. But no, jokes aside here, Aaron Rodgers, 3rd down and 8. Let's see what he can do. going to be taking it to the air, stays in pocket, and finds a wide open receiver here and connects for a first down. Brilliant accuracy, brilliant throw and play call here from Aaron Rodgers.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's the former Kansas City Chief, McCole Hardman Jr., trying to go up against his former team. And I am not mistaken. That is exactly who that is. He was signed by the Jets this offseason after spending some time with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs.
That's right. And a nice deep coverage coming from the Kansas City Chiefs here, which meant Aaron had all the time in the world to throw. Jets, a.k.a. Corn, but great coverage from the Kansas City defense on the prevent defense here. 2nd and 10. Rodgers back in the pocket once again in shotgun and takes to the air. Looking for an opening, finds it on the same exact play, same exact player. Hardman Jr., like you said, the former Chief, and another first down.
Yeah, he got right back to it, went on the outside. That out route is so effective in Madden. If you have a quarterback like Rodgers that can hit that effectively and continue to put it on the money, he did so there.
That's right. Back to the air game. And again, another out. It's been nothing but outs here. 5, 10-yard outs for his receivers, and it's working. On the money. Another first down going to be picked up. So a lot of the same here for Corn. Let's see if the Chiefs are going to adapt. Instead, it's going to be downfield. Oh, just misses him. Out of reach for a potential to score a touchdown there. Just missed him.
Yeah, just missed him, and that might be one that Aaron Rodgers wants back. He doesn't look happy again. I feel like Aaron Rodgers is just always unhappy on this game. But another one that you would have wished to have back, because that might have been an easy 6 on the opening drive.
That's right. 2nd and 10. Rodgers back to throw. Not much in the run game here, despite the 1-2 punch, like you said. Yeah, exactly. More defensive pressure going to come through. And another big stop from the defense here. 3rd and 10, though. The question is, can they extend it on 3rd down? Aaron Rodgers takes blame on that. They got his characteristics and his animations down pat here. I'm not going to lie.
They really do. And honestly, against the cover 2 defense, the weakness is the seams on the inside, the hash marks. And he had a tight end wide open on that last play, didn't see it, and it turns into a big sack on 3rd down. Chris Jones is going to bring that pressure all the time, and looks like the offense is going to go for it.
Yeah, 4th and 9 this early in the game here. You haven't really tested your defense yet. Not sure if I agree with the decision to go for it, but we'll see if I'm wrong. And he finds one down the field. It's going to be Lazard. Connects for a touchdown. So I'm going to have to eat my words here. 7 points on the board, potentially at least, with the point after touchdown. An opportunity to take a 7-0 lead, and looks like they'll hit it. So far, so good. Jets take a lead.
Yeah, that's huge for the Jets, and that's Aaron Rodgers' former Packer buddy, Alan Lazard, working open. And we talked about it. If the cover 2 is what the Chiefs are going to go with the majority of the time, they're going to see that weakness right over the middle of the field, right off of that hash mark, and it's going to allow for guys out of the slot, like a slot receiver like Lazard or a tight end, to try and work his way open. That time it was Lazard. Rodgers hit him in stride, and it turned into a first touchdown. What a start here for Corn and what he's been able to do here in this finals matchup, and off to a hot start offensively to get on the board.
Yeah, it hasn't necessarily been pretty. A lot of 3rd down, 4th down, first downs. And right there, a really gutsy play to go for it on 4th and 9 on the 45-yard line. But instead, he ends up putting up 7. So really, really good start for Corn. Again, coming cold off of a semifinal, basically freebie. His opponent didn't show up. Slater K was in a grinder. And now we get to see what Patrick Mahomes can do on offense. Patrick Mahomes, I formation, fakes the run, immediately throws it out to Valdez-Scantling for a 4-yard gain, make it a 5-yard gain. I like the play calling to start here for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I like that underneath, and we saw that a lot in that semifinal matchup. Pacheco was the go-to target. We'll see if they continue this underneath. Kadarius Toney, wow, Madden is realistic. He had a drop. That's kind of what Kadarius Toney has done all season for the Chiefs, even though Patrick Mahomes says, my bad. I don't think that was so much your bad, Patrick.
That's right. Big 3rd down here for the Jets defense. You talked about how good they are earlier. Can they show it? And the pressure's going to come, which is a second too late, but the pressure is going to force a quick throw for Patrick Mahomes on the slant, and he's not able to connect. You got to think the punt's the right call here, this deep into Jets territory, but no, he's going to go for it on 4th and 5.
I guess that's the Madden thing, right? Just go for it on fourth down and find a way to work into an open hole. This is where you go to your best play in your playbook, the one that you know is going to have somebody open for 5 yards. This is a tough decision, something that the Jets can certainly try and take advantage of.
We saw the flats throw. Actually, I was just thinking it's going to be a throw to the flats. You talked about a go-to play. We saw that in the semifinal. So, again, if Corden was watching and was doing some scouting, you would have known that was a go-to, sure thing, surefire play for Slider K. Instead, it's going to be a first down for Travis Kelce. Immediately into second down here. Same exact play to Valdez-Scantling. This time he's going to dodge the defender. Quarterback gets caught sleeping, and it's going to be almost a touchdown here. Not going to be picked up for Valdez-Scantling.
Yeah, that was just a phenomenal play call. You went to one side with Travis Kelce. Now you get it to Valdez-Scantling on the outside and let him use the speed to set up first and goal.
Love that decision. And Patrick Mahomes is going to waltz it right in. Touchdown Chiefs, and Slider K picks up right where he left off on the heels of a 4th and 5 conversion for a first down to Travis Kelce. Extra point is good. We got a tied ball game.
Yeah, that's guts there from Slider K to say, hey, we're deep in our own territory, but we're still going to put this one on a drive. And using the flats, that's something that at least it looks like initially the Jets are having some trouble trying to cover up. If they can maybe continue to utilize that with Travis Kelce and Marcus Valdez-Scantling and what they brought to the table there, then all of a sudden I think the playbook opens wide up for Patrick Mahomes, Slider K, and that Kansas City offense.
That's right. Back to Aaron Rodgers in the Jets offense now on the 32-yard line after a decent return. Aaron Rodgers, we saw a lot from his passing or throwing game here in the first drive. Will they stick to it? Yes, they will. Rodgers from the pocket finds one on the slant, in. And it's going to be a nice, defensive play knocked out.
Yeah.
So incomplete pass here on first down. Nice hit from defense.
Yeah, Jarvis Sneed came over the middle and just laid down the wood. No chance to hold on to that ball. Dropped it because it was knocked out with the hard hit.
That's right. Rodgers working right and intercepted again. The Kansas City defense of Slider K shows up big. That's his 3rd interception of the tournament. Can't stop, won't stop. Slider K with some great defense.
Yeah, Trent McDuffie, the former Washington Husky, and that's the 3rd time we've seen a baited cornerback just saying, hey, we're underneath. We're just going to allow for a little bit of space here, just enough room for the opponent to say, let's throw it that direction. Let's throw it to that side of the field. And then Slider K is able to back up, make the interception, 3rd pick, and that secondary is rolling. And against the Jets offense and what they've done so far, the Jets are going to have to keep throwing the football. So maybe not the only turnover we'll see from KC in this one.
That's right. 2 seconds on the clock. Will he get it off before the quarter? Nope. We just going to let the time run out. First quarter over. And again, the Jets started with the ball. Thanks to a Kansas City interception, they're going to have an opportunity as we got some Xbox notifications clearly bothering this player here. He's going to change them real quick as we jump back on board here with Slider K.
It's all business fallout. We can't mess around anymore. We got to go into do not disturb.
That's right. He's locked in. He wants to punch his ticket to Dallas to go see the Cowboys play the Giants on November 12th. Of course, that's what's at stake here. Again, if you're just tuning in, the Cowboys have been putting on these tournaments on a consistent basis. This is the 3rd Dallas Cowboys game time tournament. They did a Rocket League tournament open to anybody, any Dallas Cowboys fan or anyone around the country. Super Bowl tickets have been given out. This prize is, of course, a great experience to go attend a Cowboys game. As we jump in 2nd and 5 here, Patrick Mahomes, drop back, looks for an opening, finds it. Pacheco again from the backfield, and the yards after catch will come through as well.
Yeah, it's funny you're talking about that Giants game. I've actually got the on-site pregame show for that matchup. So maybe I'll talk to Lenovo. I'll have our people talk to your people, whoever wins this matchup. Maybe we'll try and put you on the pregame show too. Put you in front of Cowboys Nation and let everybody see that smiling face after winning a game time tournament. Because we'll be out there with our pregame show an hour before kickoff, and we take it college game day style with fans in the background. So we might get everybody involved if we can whenever we go out there on November 12th.
Include the winner here, perhaps. Yeah, how awesome is that
exactly
experience?
Yeah, there you go. Let's add to
amazing.
it. That's the point.
How cool would that be? Again, one thing I got to say, Slider K's done a good job just getting the ball out. As soon as he's under pressure, at least getting the ball out to avoid taking the sack. That's been a big difference maker for Slider K and the Kansas City Chiefs as we come into a big 3rd and 5. He converted on it last time. Actually, sorry, it was 4th and 5 last time he converted. What's he going to do here again? Will he go out to the flats? Nope. It's going to be a wide open tight end grab, immediate throw to Gray, the tight end. And it's going to be the same play we saw last game.
Yeah, very similar to that touchdown we saw. Now we've seen both of those plays reutilized by Slider K here in the final.
That's right. First and goal to Pacheco. Good defensive stop going to come through. I think that was the cornerback coming from out wide.
Yeah, Sauce Gardner, physical corner coming up there and making a stop. They needed it too.
Yeah, big play as the 2-minute warning hits. What's the play here for Slider K in your eyes? Run or throw?
I think you go back to the run game. You got second down and goal. Let Pacheco find this thing in.
And Pacheco or Patrick Mahomes. Again, a repeat play here. So again, if Cord did his research, he would be all over this playbook. A lot of similar plays from Slider K, sticking to what he knows.
Yeah, that was just a read option, and that time the Jets did a good job of bringing more than one guy because it was the right read from Patrick Mahomes, taking the pull because there was no lane for Pacheco, but then there was a second guy to follow it up for the Jets. Good play call defensively to snuff that out.
Yeah, great defensive play on the potential to stop a red zone touchdown here for the Kansas City Chiefs and keep this a 3-point game. Here comes the pressure from the D-line. Not going to be enough. Mahomes has all the time in the world, runs into his own guy here, waiting for an opening, but the defensive coverage is too good. Pat Mahomes has to throw it out of bounds. And now decision, field goal or go for it. It looks like we get a field goal.
Yeah, taking the field goal, take the points, unless this is a fake, which could also happen in Madden, but not this time. Taking the field goal, I think that's a smart decision. Good job by Slider K to finish with points, but hey, I got to give credit where credit is due there from Antonio Rodriguez and what he's brought to the table because, man, coming forward and making the play like that and forcing the fourth down there with the pressure on Patrick Mahomes, that was certainly huge to get the job done.
Yeah, I gotta completely agree with you there. Massive plays coming through from Antonio Rodriguez. And for those that are just tuning in, we got Antonio, 18 years old from Centerville, Virginia, playing up against Khalil Franklin, 21 years old from Morrow, Georgia. Battle of the East Coasters in our grand finals of the Game Time Dallas Cowboys tournament. Winner gets an all-expenses-paid trip for 2 to Dallas. But here's going to be a big sap. Once again, the Kansas City defense shows up big.
Yeah, Kansas City has continued to put pressure on Aaron Rodgers, and that we've already seen what that secondary has done, and that's really what's playing the biggest factor is these wide receivers are covered up, and there's no passing lanes at this point.
And once again, turnover, and it's going to be a run back for a touchdown here. Kansas City puts up another 7 with the defense showing up big.
The pick 6, and we just talked about that secondary, blanketing these wide receivers, putting this coverage into perspective. It didn't take very long, and this time it results in 7. Big time turnaround for Slider K. That secondary is as nasty as it comes. He has got this thing on lock in terms of the defensive playbook. He is keeping all of his opponents off balance.
Lights out defense. Unbelievable plays here so far from Slider K's Kansas City Chiefs defense. Have been so darn impressive from what we've seen so far. As we take a moment here, 17-7 is the score. Want to make sure to mention, we've talked about the Game Time tournaments throughout. Guess what? Game Time tournament number 4 qualifiers start on December 1st. So if you missed a chance to play in this tournament, you can have a chance to play in Game Time number 4 by the Dallas Cowboys and qualify for, again, great prizes that we've seen so far. Make sure to check it out. I'm sure we'll post a link in the chat for those to go take a look. And I believe, I'm not sure if it's going to be running back on Madden again. I think we will be playing Madden again. So dust off the sticks and try for a chance to compete to make it to the grand finals with Dallas Cowboys Game Time number 4 starting in December.
You think I'm eligible to play and get the Madden back out? Because I would love a chance to maybe go and see what I can do in these. I would probably lose first round, just to be very, very clear.
That's true. How about you play me in like an exhibition? If you can get past me, then maybe we'll give you a shot.
I can make that work. We can set something up there.
That's right. Wide open toss here for Aaron Rodgers. Straight to the red zone, jumping back into the action here. It was a statement defensive play, but this would be a statement drive with only 13 seconds left on the clock here in the second quarter. Opportunity for the Jets to put some more points on the board and make it a 3-point game going into the half. Rodgers in the pocket, decides to scramble, not something you see very often, and that's why. It looked like he was getting choked by a ghost is what happened there.
Yeah, he got clotheslined by somebody invisible over the middle. I want to see them utilize the tight end here in the red zone. We saw the big completion a minute ago to Tyler Conklin down the field.
Okay.
He's number 83 to the left of the line of scrimmage here. I want to see them try and utilize this on maybe this in.
Yeah, and his running back out of the backfield is wide open there. Obviously, we're the commentators, not the players, for a reason, but he's going to still dump it to his running back, and oh my goodness, risky territory again. Tries forcing that downfield into double coverage.
Yeah, that one hurts because you don't end up with any points at the end of the half, and that could have, at least with a field goal, made it a one-score game because very quickly here the Kansas City Chiefs can put this away with a touchdown on this drive, go up 24-7, and really start putting it in. And that's exactly what Korn is thinking here. I think that show what's at stake, and they've got to find a way to get the ball back.
Yeah, it's going to be a... Wait, did he fumble it? I don't know what we saw right there. Not sure who came with the ball, but no.
No.
It looks like Jets will stay on defense. So, yeah, unfortunate. Really interesting attempt for an onside kick there. Not able to convert, and the Chiefs will take the ball over with great field position.
And this is where you need a turnover. You need to get a takeaway here defensively, or at least hold Kansas City to a field goal, keep it at a 2-possession game, because if you get into 3 possessions with as quick as these 5-minute quarters are, things could really go downhill very quickly.
Yeah, and that right there has been the signature play from Slider K with Patrick Mahomes, just getting the ball out of his hands and avoiding the turnover each and every time, it seems like. Sorry, avoiding the sack each and every time, it seems like. Audible and I formation here for the Kansas City Chiefs on near the 45-yard line. First down here, or a touchdown here, certainly will make things difficult. It's going to be a great job preventing the first down. 3rd and inches, though. Pacheco's been money all day. You think he's going to run up the gut here?
Yeah, probably. If not, it's play action right back to Pacheco. And there you go, right through the tackle box. Allow for the offensive line to push things up front. They have one of the best offensive fronts in football with guys like Creed Humphrey paving the way at the center spot. And Kansas City can really rely on that, and you've seen that throughout this one. Now with just over 4 minutes left in the fourth, if they can drive down and put this one in the end zone, things are going to look dire for the Jets.
That's right. Slider K, just minutes away and 2 quarters to be precise, and 9 minutes from being your champion of the Dallas Cowboys game time tournament and punching his ticket to Dallas. First down is going to certainly help. Once again, play action, showed I formation, but this time went for a pass. And I like the balance here of run and pass plays here for the Chiefs so far, Kyle. They're going to go back to the run with Pacheco through the B gap, and that time he's going to be just pick up a few, but overall running out the clock, playing very well right now is Slider K.
Yeah, I think what Khalil's doing really well right now is the fact that he's using the real balance. He's showing off a great understanding of how this game works, and this time he just runs a whip route with Kadarius Toney off to the left side, had the speed to catch the edge. Once again, great understanding of how this game works, how to read defenses, and he has continued to put it on his opponents.
That's right. Extra point will come through as well, and they are just running up the score right now. Again, some small moments for Antonio Rodriguez, the young 18-year-old, could have changed everything, right? Second or third down, 1 play left with 5 seconds left on the clock, was so close to converting. The onside kick not going his way. A couple of, the 1 interception or 2 interceptions that came through have been costly. And Slider K's capitalized. You got to say, hats goes off to Slider K for capitalizing on every opportunity that's been presented.
Yeah, and it started with the turnovers. We talked about it at the end of the semifinal matchup, that if you win the takeaway battle, you win the turnover battle, you have a very good shot at winning this game. And in Madden specifically, and when you can provide pressure like that, it certainly helps as well. But if you can take the football away, earn some extra possessions, and put you in a great spot, and that's exactly what Slider K has done and what Kansas City has done in that secondary.
Yeah, we're going to see some desperation time now going for Korn and the Jets. Deep balls to try and score as fast as he possibly can. That's the name of the game. Connect for one right there. Again, Alan Lazard, his go-to. Aaron Rodgers' connection's been looking good. The no-huddle is going to look even better. Aaron Rodgers in the pocket all the time in the world, has someone downfield, and it's going to be Conklin again. So doing a good job trying to keep things alive here with some back-to-back 20, 30-yard plays.
Yeah, that was big time. And if they're going to get back in it, they're going to need some help on the onside kick. We saw 1 onside kick already recovered in that initial matchup, and now you've got a chance here to make something happen if you can find the end zone.
And finally, Kansas City defense is going to stop the bleeding here, which was the New York Jets offense couldn't be stopped at first, it looked like. And now Aaron Rodgers, 2nd and 10. Clock will stop. Looking to get a quick touchdown here. And you're just like Kyle just said, we're going to see some onside kicks to try and keep them alive and give them an opportunity to stay in this game or at least bring it back. But no, the defensive pressure is going to come through from Kansas again.
Yeah, that pass rush has been relentless. They've found a way into the backfield on multiple occasions, and that's exactly what Kansas City does. And you can see the Jets taking a bit of offense to that. They didn't like the fact that they're getting in there and roughing up their quarterback, bringing up a big 3rd down and 10.
Right. Big 3rd down indeed. Aaron Rodgers, all the time in the world. Once again, he's going to find... No, ball's going to be knocked out. Incomplete pass right there. I think that's Conklin. And Rodgers wants that one back.
Yeah, honestly, I thought it was a great throw, but just an even better play in coverage. Those are two guys that have had an interception, Edmonds, and then on the backside of that, Snead. This is big. Got to convert here.
And then, he dragged his toes in and converts for a touchdown. Beautiful catch, beautiful throw. Aaron Rodgers puts it on the money. And just like that, 7 points can be picked up for the Jets. It's a 10-point game.
That's big because now you're in it. Now you get an onside kick. If you want to go back to the onside kick, we saw that early on. They may just decide to kick this away and play the field position battle. That's exactly what they're going to do. But with 1:13 left, you have some time here in the 3rd quarter. You got to get a stop defensively. Got to slow down Slider K on that offensive attack for Kansas City.
That's the hardest thing. They haven't been slowed down yet. We'll see what type of defense the Jets can pull together here. And as we have a moment just to pause, for those that are local to the Dallas area, I just want to make sure everyone's aware of Rally Days presented by SeatGeek, which give NFL fans an experience of a lifetime the day prior to Dallas Cowboys home games. On October 28th, you can enjoy activities at the Miller Lighthouse, get a behind-the-scenes tour of AT&T Stadium and more. Visit attstadium.com/Rally Days for more information and to get your tickets and be part of the experience. Seems like a fun one as we got another staple, Travis Kelce out to the flats, couple yard gain.
Yeah, the Jets already calling their timeouts too.
Yeah.
I could have sworn that was going to be the end of the quarter because burning these timeouts early, I don't think it helps you out a ton. I would rather just save those for the last drive of the game when maybe a Kansas City offense is trying to just run for the 1st down. Now, if you burn these timeouts here, it could certainly help you or hurt you if you can't get a stop.
That's a good point.
Look at how fast Isaiah Pacheco is. I mean, he just burns to the outside, gets outside the numbers, turns up field, and there's just not a whole lot of things you can do defensively. Catch him at least in one swift motion.
That's right. And especially when you do the 1-2 punch with another throw to Tony on the slant.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful plays coming through for Kansas City. It's 24-14 point game right now, 10-point lead, and the Chiefs are showing no sign of slowing down. Slider K wasting out the clock and moving on to the 4th quarter. 5 minutes away. This Slider K from punching his ticket from Georgia all the way to Dallas. He's looked so good throughout the entirety of this game time grand final and semifinal. I've been so impressed with what I've seen from the young 21-year-old.
Yeah, the game changer, at least at this point, has been, again, the takeaways like we talked about in the semifinals. But this one specifically, it was the L'Jarius Sneed pick 6 at the end of that 2nd quarter. The fact that he was able to kick a field goal, take a 3-point lead, and then immediately have the pick 6, go up by 17-7 at the break, even answering 1-and-1 touchdowns in the second half. Right now, you got a chance to just burn clock. And, again, I don't think Korn should try and use those timeouts left. You just got to find a way to get a stop here. That's the number one thing.
That's right. Patrick Mahomes all the time in the world is going to find Tony again with the out. Connects for yet another 1st down.
Now, the good thing here is that the clock stops as he goes out of bounds. So with 4:35 left, a little extra time here for this defense to try and make something happen. But overall, things not looking great here for the New York Jets. They got to find a way to get a takeaway or make some sort of mistake happen.
Yeah, this is a crucial set of 4 downs or 3 downs here. Nice job, though. Defense finally wakes up. Going to connect and stop the bleeding a little bit once again for Pacheco. Only a 1-yard gain. No huddle continues for Kansas City, or the quick call. Back to I formation. Continuing to run the ball to draw the clock out as much as they possibly can. Big stop here coming from the New York Jets. They decided to put it to the air. And beautiful stop coming through from the Jets. stops the clock as well, gives them a breathing chance.
Now, that was an opportunity, though, because that ball looked like it had a chance to get intercepted. Michael Carter, the second, one of the better coverage corners in football, worked over to that side. Mahomes still threw it into double coverage. Here's a big 3rd and 9 on the way.
Massive stop for the Jets. Big opportunity here. Defensive pressure going to come. And does he drop the ball? No, he holds on and maintains. What a catch from the Kansas City offense. Throw again. The celebrations coming through. You're getting ready to get into victory formation time. Kansas City looking perfect.
Yeah, they've got to get down to that 2-minute warning, and then that thing is wrapped up. What a throw from Patrick Mahomes, but an even better job by Tony working against his momentum and able to make the grab and hold on against some contact.
That's right. First down going to be picked up yet again. At this point, just adding insult to injury, putting the ball in the air, almost stopping the clock by running out of bounds right there. The Kansas City Chiefs are just trying to rack up the points, rack up some fantasy points here, which Patrick Mahomes is known to typically do. 2nd and inches, an opportunity to put up 7 more. Kansas City and Slider K looking great. Back to Pacheco on the ground, and he'll get the inches he needed to connect for the first down. Also drains out the clock. Quick.
Are we going to Grand Theft? Are we going
Might
to
be a
Grand
GG.
Theft Auto?
I think that's going to be a GG, early GG called. That's it. That's all she wrote. I think Corn realized nothing going. No way I can work my way back into this one. No point in drawing up the clock there. So with that said, a formal congratulations to Khalil, a.k.a. Slider K, your champion of the Dallas Cowboys Game Time Tournament featuring Madden. You'll be punching your ticket to Dallas with one other to attend the Cowboys game on November 12th against the Giants, which will be hosted, the pre-show hosted by my man Kyle Yeomans here. Or Yeomans. I'm excited to see that, man. Congratulations again to Khalil.
Yeah, Slider K did everything he could all the way through, and it really started with the secondary from Kansas City. Not the biggest names along the way. You didn't have the Sauce Gardners. You didn't have the Gardner Johnsons like Philadelphia and New York had, but you had guys that made plays. It looked like everybody had an interception. Snead had the pick 6. Justin Reed had an interception. Mike Edwards had a pick. Trent McDuffie had a big one as well. It was all those secondary players that stepped up and provided for enough time to really make things happen. And then whenever those turnovers came, he had Patrick Mahomes to rely on. He found Isaiah Pacheco. He found Noah Gray. Of course, he found Taylor Swift's boyfriend along the way as well. I mean, there was plenty of guys that Patrick Mahomes could throw the football to. He did just that. And following those takeaways, he took advantage, and it turned into points. That was the best way to get it done. And that's how Slider K comes out on top.
Yeah, and I got to agree with you. The offense was flashy. Even more impressive, though, to me was the defense. The coverage was fantastic, was phenomenal. A lot of plays made. 4 interceptions on the day, 2 in each game. One of them returned back to the house for a touchdown. Slider K, his defense was phenomenal, and that's really what made the difference in my eyes.
Yeah, and there was always a little bit of pass rush. I think for the most part, you had guys like Chris Jones that were in there and just was stuffing up the middle of that line of scrimmage. George Karlaftis made a couple plays in the ground game, especially in that semifinal matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles. But it was the takeaways, the turnovers, the interceptions. Whenever he baited guys into throws and then would come back and have a secondary defender somewhere in the vicinity, that was the game changer, and that was how he came out on top. Because I don't think you win either one of those games without the interceptions, because that was what turned the tide and gave you some extra possession.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. And as a result, well, again, he's going to Dallas to have a chance to watch the Cowboys play live, courtesy of the Dallas Cowboys, which is awesome. Congratulations again to Khalil, a.k.a. Slider K. I got to ask you, Kyle, you're 21 years old. You just win the Dallas Cowboys Game Time Tournament. You have a trip +1 to go to Dallas. You bring in a significant other, a family member, your mom, your dad. What's your decision there? What's a young 21-year-old Kyle doing?
21, I'd probably bring one of my best friends. I think I would just make it a boys trip. I would just take the best. Or honestly, I will say, like, my dad has always been my hero. I would probably take my dad if that was the case. So depending on what the relationships are like for Slider K and where he is in his life, I think you can't necessarily go wrong. But I would make it a boys trip at some point along the way and just enjoy AT&T Stadium. It never ever gets old. The Cowboys put on a heck of a show every time, and can't wait to be out there with you. That November game against the Giants, divisional rivalry is going to be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, guess what? We'll have a chance to find out directly, I believe, from Khalil, aka Slider K. We're gonna have an interview with him in just a moment. We're getting him set up and ready. Excited to talk to the young 21-year-old about who he's going to take and what it took to get there. Amazing stuff as always. And we mentioned earlier, but in case you missed it, in December, I believe December 2nd is our next qualifier. Because guess what? We're running it back. Dallas Cowboys Game Time Tournament number 4. This was the third tournament after Rocket League, after Fortnite. We're going to be sticking to Madden here for tournament number 4. So if you're watching at home, you want a chance to get tickets to a Cowboys game or whatever the prize might be for tournament number 4, make sure to sign up. The link, I believe, was posted in the chat, and you have a chance to win through your qualifiers. The way it works and the way these players got here today, there's 4 different qualifiers or a few different qualifiers. If you win a qualifier, you make it to the grand finals where you have a chance to play on broadcast just like we did today. We had 4 qualifiers that made it as finalists. And of course, in the end, it was Khalil, aka Slider K, with the win. What was it like, Kyle, from your perspective, casting your first esports gaming and esports broadcast? How was it?
Yeah, man, it was so much fun. And I love the game of Madden. I love the competition aspect of it and even the strategy of it, because there are times where it is very much so a real life simulator of the game of football. And there's so many different elements that you learn about football just through Madden, and then vice versa. Madden will teach you some things about football at the same time. And it's so much fun to play. And I've always been a big proponent of Madden NFL. The franchise as a whole. I think NFL 24 has been great. And you got to see some of the best players in the world, honestly, at this this event, work their way through the qualifiers and then get to this stage and take advantage of it all the way through. I loved it, man. I hope they call me back. I hope I get an invite back to do this again here in a couple months whenever we get down to the Final Four of that one as well.
Yeah, you absolutely crushed it, man. Congrats on your first esports broadcast. That was a ton of fun. After we got some of the technical and VMix issues figured out, and it was smooth sailing from there. But no, jokes aside, that was awesome to see. And it looks like we will likely, I believe we did get confirmation that we will likely have Slider K live for an interview. And we do. Slider K, aka Khalil, what's up, man? How you doing? How you feeling right now?
What's going on, man? I'm still shocked. I'm still shocked.
You can't believe it, huh? Lost for words?
I'm telling you, this is my first time making it all the way to the finals in the tournament.
That's amazing, man. I want to actually ask you about that. Are you a big Madden player? Have you played a bunch of Madden competitions in the past, or was this your first Madden tournament?
Competitively, I started 2 years ago. So what that was,
Nice.
Madden 21. I played MCS tournament. Didn't really do too well. Didn't really get that far. But as the years progressed, I've been getting better and better.
And you certainly looked like that. And my question is, I mean, you looked cool, calm, and collected in terms of the play calling, and then especially defensively with some of these different play calls you had on that side of the football. I mean, what was your big key to success? What did you want to come into this finals and semifinals matchup with in order to leave with the win like you did?
To be honest with you, I just went with the flow. Like usually, like when I made it to the end of, like when I won qualifiers 1, I was using the Eagles. Mm-hmm. So like I didn't even have a solid team. I didn't really have no solid scheme. I went to Philly playbook probably like 2 days ago just to test some stuff out. So I was just going with the flow. I ain't put too much pressure on myself. I said if I lose, it's always next time.
I love that approach.
Khalil, that's honestly, he's totally right. He said he's playing with the Eagles. Didn't have a good team. Didn't really have a good playbook. I mean, nothing really special from Philadelphia. That just shows how good Khalil is. The fact that he could use the Eagles and still get to this point along the way in a Cowboys tournament, right?
Yes, sir. I surprised myself because, like, I score every drive. Usually, like in these type of tournaments, that's why I mess up at. I know that I force a lot of stuff and I throw picks because I be nervous and things like that. But this tournament, I did pretty well, scoring every drive. I said, like, when it came to 4th downs, like 4th and 8, 4th and 9, I be going for those. But I said, this time, I'm going to play it smart. If I get the 4th down, I'm going to kick the field goal. If I do get the 4th down, I'm not in field goal range, I'm going to punt it. I'm going to play everything smart.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. That was one thing we noticed. Textbook gameplay from you. You played really solid and consistent throughout. No turnovers on the day for you. You actually had 4 turnovers with your Kansas City defense. That made a huge difference as well. We were going back and forth, though, Kyle and I, and curious. You have a trip for 2. You have a +1 that you get to bring with you down to Dallas. Who are you taking to Dallas today? Have any idea yet?
Shout out TMRBJ. He was in the tournament, too. He was in the finals. He's my friend. I know him in real life. He actually won qualifiers 3, I believe. He won qualifiers 3, but he today because he had some business to handle. so he couldn't really get in the tournament. So I said, if I win this, I'm gonna do it for you.
Yo, that's loyalty for your boy right there, man. I respect that.
Awesome. Yep. I really, make it a boys trip. I mean, that's going to be so much fun. By the way, I'm going to make sure that your people get in touch with my people because I host the pregame show. And we're going to be on site that week. We're going to get you on the pregame show and make something happen out there as well. So we've got a lot of stuff coming your way. I mean, man, enjoy this trip. Enjoy AT&T Stadium because have you ever been down to Dallas first off? That's my next question. Have you been to the Lone Star State?
I haven't even been to Dallas none of my life. I haven't even been close to it. I stay in Georgia.
Stay in Georgia. Honestly, I've got family in Georgia, so I'm right there with you. But here's the thing. Everything's bigger in Texas, so we're going to give you a list of barbecue spots. We're going to make sure you're taken care of. This is going to be fun, man. Enjoy this, and you certainly earned it with the way that you played this week.
That's right.
Thank
you. Okay, I want to give you one more chance, man. Any final shout-outs for the Dallas Cowboys or anyone at home as you're watching here? Any final words you want to wrap up with?
Just shout out to my boy TRNBJ. Y'all follow him on Twitch. I'm gonna get my Twitch started in a little while. Slider K, BTW Finesse, and that's about it.
I love it, man. Well, okay, congratulations again, Khalil, on the dub, man. You absolutely dominated today. Enjoy the trip to Dallas, courtesy of the Cowboys. Enjoy the game against the Giants, man. Keep on grinding, too. It's awesome to see you winning your first Madden tournament. Hopefully this is the first of many. We're gonna see you in MCS, Madden Championship Series, continuing to compete?
Next year. I got y'all for sure next year.
I love it, man. We'll see you there,
man. That top 500.
Love to hear it, man. Thanks again, Slider K. Congratulations again on the dub. Take it easy, man.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Wow, that's awesome, man. How cool is that? Gosh, the Dallas Cowboys really out here changing lives. He's traveling to Texas for the first time, taking care of his boy who couldn't compete today because he had work. I think those are things you love to see, Kyle.
That's so fun. And I said it earlier. I was like, I'd probably take this and make it into a boys trip. Little did I know he was going to help out a guy who couldn't compete today. He said, you know what? I'm going to go win this thing for the both of us. I'm going to go get it done. And he said, you know what? Let's do it. And so, that's going to be so much fun. Excited to see those guys in Arlington and get a chance to watch a divisional matchup at AT&T. And, man, Lenovo and the Cowboys hooking it up as always, putting it together for EA Sports, Madden NFL 24. Plenty of things along the way, but this was a blast and certainly something that, like you said, could change his life and really put him in the right direction in his esports career.
That's exactly right. Shout out to the Dallas Cowboys again for putting this on, giving people all around the nation a chance to compete and grind and showcase what they got in a variety of games. Like I mentioned, we've had Fortnite, we've had Rocket League, and now bringing it all the way to Madden with aspiring MCS or Madden Championship Series players winning it big. Congrats to Khalil and the entirety of the folks that participated and competed today. It was a ton of fun to watch, and you hit the nail on the head. Thank you so much to Lenovo, who makes smarter technology for all, making this possible with sponsorship and support. Please, I'm wearing a Lenovo headset right now. Go show some support and love for Lenovo for the entirety of this broadcast and this show and making it all possible. Kyle, as we wrap up here, any final words you wanted to say?
No, I think you knocked it out of the park, and it was so much fun getting to hang out with you guys all day long, getting to watch some great Madden players really play at the highest point of their craft and really get after it. Can't wait for the next one in a couple of months. Get your signups in now. I mean, make sure as soon as that link's open, get in there. Make sure that you get a chance to go and win some Madden matchups and try and work your way back to the Final Four so then you can hop on a stream like this. This was so much fun. Can't wait for the next one.
Hit the nail on the head. You crushed it, Kyle. Big shout out to Kyle Yeomans for joining me in his first ever esports broadcast. Of course, you can catch him in all the pre- and post-game shows for the Dallas Cowboys. On behalf of Kyle, myself, I'm Fallout here in the esports community, our entire production team, Isaac, Ford, and everyone who made this possible. And of course, big shout goes to the Dallas Cowboys for putting these tournaments on, these events on, give people a chance to compete. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. We will catch you for the next Dallas Cowboys Game Time Tournament number 4. Signups have already started. December 4th is qualifier number 1. You could have a chance to compete in the next grand final. Make sure to sign up. We'll see you next time. Have a great night, everybody. And thanks so much for watching.